Hi friends, welcome to Canary at Home. My name's Lacey and today we're doing a lesson called Rainbow Circles. Today we're going to take all of that color mixing knowledge that you got from the last two lessons in our process pack, and we're going to create a painting with all of the different colors and all of the different materials in your box. The materials that you'll need today are tempera paint squeeze bottles. I've squeezed those into my paint cups with all of the different colors. You can also use some of the liquid watercolor, blue and yellow. You'll need your oil pastels, your paint brushes. You'll need your cardboard circles, a couple sheets of paper, and you might need a bowl of water and paper towel to wash your brush. So let's get started. So first, I'm going to take my cardboard circles and I'm going to start to trace the shape around the circle onto my paper to create a design. I'm going to choose my black oil pastel for the outlines because I like how dark and bold the black looks. Go around my circle. Notice how I'm holding my circle down with one hand and I'm tracing it with the other hand. Next, I'm going to draw one here. I'm going to kind of make them overlap. When you combine two shapes on top of each other, that's called overlapping. And it creates this different shape where they meet. I'm going to pick up my smaller circle and continue to overlap the shapes. Notice here how you can even go off the edge of the page with your circle. And you can go on a hunt around your house for smaller circles or bigger circles that you might want to trace. I have a few right in front of me on my tray. I can take the bottom of my paint bottle and create a circle that's a bit smaller. Once you have the design that you like, then you can start the color mixing part of this project. I'm going to explore a little bit of everything on this painting. So the first thing I want to do is to do some color mixing with my oil pastels. So I'm going to find a space where the lines meet and create a shape, and I'm going to color that in. Let's try yellow and red. Do you guys remember what it makes? I'm going to take my finger and kind of blend that orange together a little bit. Some of the black is mixing in. What does that do to it? Maybe I'll put some white on top. I'm gonna make one of these yellow. Next, I'm going to fill in some of the shapes with the watercolor. I'm choosing to use my small brush because I'm trying to stay in the lines today and kind of create a different color in between every shape. So a small brush will work better for me for that. I'm going to wash my brush, give it a tap, dry my brush. Grab a little blue. I'm going to keep working with the watercolor and try some different combinations of the color until I'm ready to move on to the tempera paint. Now, as you switch to your tempera paint, I want you to think about the differences between these paints. I've got both of my darker blue paints. What is the difference? When I roll this one around, I see that the paint is moving as I move the container around because it's very liquidy. It's a watercolor. The tempera paint is thicker than the watercolor because it has a binder mixed with the pigment, which makes it thicker than the watercolor paint. So of course, the differences in the consistency of the paint are going to affect the way that the colors mix and also the way that you apply them on your paper and the way that they look on your paper. All right, I'm going to start with some of the red paint in my medium brush for the tempera paint. And today we're going to be mixing our colors onto our paper instead of into our cups. You're always welcome to mix into your cups, but I'll show you the method of mixing onto your paper. I'm going to cover the shape in this red, and then I'm going to wash my brush. Wash, wash, wash. And then I'm going to grab some white. And then I'm going to mix the white into the red right onto the shape. And what happened to the red? It turned into a nice pink. And what I notice is the difference between the brush strokes that I see in the tempera paint and the way that the watercolor paint went on without brush strokes. That's because the tempera paint is thicker and shows those little tiny brush hair textures. I'm going to take this little pink that's left on my brush and move on to a smaller shape to use that paint over here. Wash, wash your brush before you change color. A little bit of yellow to that. Ooh, got some green. It's really interesting to see how this green is different than this green. So now I'm just going to keep repeating this process until we fill up all of these circles and the shapes that we've created where our circles overlap with a whole rainbow of colors. And as you're working, you can use your different brushes, you can use your different paints, you can use your oil pastels to really build up those color areas. All right, I'm finished. I know that I'm finished because I have filled in every little shape that I created with my circles with a new color and even a new type of material. I have oil pastel and watercolor here and tempera here and oil pastel here and tempera here and watercolor here. So I've used all my different materials, I've used all my different colors, and it was so much fun finding all the new colors with my tray of materials. Now it's your turn. I can't wait to see the rainbow of colors that you mix up today. I hope you'll send us pictures. Please tag us on Instagram at @CanaryArt, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye, friends. Hey, grown-ups. So there's a lot of fine motor going on in this project for the circles tracing. To give your little artists some assistance, you might hold down the circle for them as they trace around. Let them try it. You know, it might not be perfect, but that's okay. We really want to give them practice kind of tracing around the edge of that circle. Also, the challenge of staying inside the lines of those circles is a challenge that I know might not be completely realistic for especially the really little ones, but it's great for them to try. Their hand-eye coordination, fine motor skills, it's a really great exploration of all of those things.